on stage, Mr. David Berkeley.
Thanks. I just noticed that my son Jackson came for sound check, and he left his guitar here. It's really, really great to be back in Atlanta. I live here now again, and thanks. I say a lot that it's good to be back wherever I am after the first song, but I mean it maybe half the time, and I mean it. I mean it tonight. I say that a lot also. I mean that about 3/4 of the time. I'm also really glad to be having a Guinness, because not only does it quench the thirst, but my lips are a little chapped. And the head on the Guinness feels great. I'm sponsored by Guinness. This is actually, though, not an Irish song. It's a Scottish song. Well, it's a song set in Scotland, in George Square. A song I wrote after a visit there for a friend of mine who's Scottish, who's a friend of mine despite the fact that I can't understand a fucking word he says. Which, living in France for the year, I made a lot of friends who I don't know a thing about them. Spent a full year with them. She was walking across George Square in the rain. I forgot to tell Eddie and Shalom that I was planning on doing a knee slide into a camera on stage tonight. And I'm eyeballing that one right now and wondering if I can get up there. The problem with it here is you just don't have that much room to get your speed up.
I'll boost you up there, don't you worry.
Does anyone know an artist named Mark Mulcahy? That just confirms this oddity about this guy, which is that he's basically completely unknown, except with like a lot of really famous musicians like Michael Stipe and Tom York of Radiohead. He has like this huge dedicated fan base, but they're only star musicians, which is strange that happened, and I don't know. But anyway, there's a tribute record of his songs coming out, and the list of artists that are contributing to it is ridiculous, including Tom York, and I'm the only artist on it that no one has ever heard of. But so in thinking about which song to pick, I picked a very short, lullaby-ish kind of nugget of a ballad that's actually his version is only like 1:10. I feel like I have no place on the record to begin with, so why take up too much space? Our version is more like 1:50. And so we thought we would try it for you now. In the actual recording, I sing 3 different vocal parts, one of which doubles me exactly. And Will is going to try that one. No, you're not, Will. No. The best part of the song actually is comes before the first note, which is we kept a very large breath. Yeah, that starts the song. Leave it, don't say anything. If I bump my head, I'll apologize. 'Cause you're too soft, life's too hard. I'm on top. Okay, I'm going to do a new song. We're going to do actually 2 new songs for you right now, both that I wrote in Corsica, where I was living this past year. As a couple people have pointed out, if you read the Paste piece, they say that I lived in a village off the island of Corsica, which is an odd idea. I mean, there aren't many floating villages off of the island of Corsica, particularly not ours. I mean, we had 35 people who lived in it. It would be more like a raft if it was.
Did you know all their names by the end of it?
Will asked a question, which is, did I know all of their names? And the answer is yes and no. I mean, like, certainly I knew all of them. I knew all of their families and everything. But some of them never give their names. You either know or you don't know.
I'm glad I asked.
Anyway, I wrote this song after getting kicked in the testicles by a goat. Homesick is hard when you don't know just where it is that you call home. It's actually a really sad song. I don't know if this roof's gonna hold. It's oh so cold. It's been snowing too hard, I fear. This next song is called "Oh Lord, Come Down," and for a long time people thought it was the lyric was actually "Oh Lord, Calm Down." Possibly appropriate, maybe even smarter as a lyric, but different. I'm not sure when I'll be back, but I live here now, so I'll be at the Canada Park Playground tomorrow, like 3. You know what I love about Candler Park? I love a lot of things, but it smells like cookies there all the time. And people, if you ask people, like, what's that smell? They'll all tell you it's a flying biscuit. And it's not. It's not. There's like a huge industrial bakery that's across the tracks, which probably is full of chemicals and all sorts of stuff. Smells great. But it's not quite as homey as people think. I'm just trying to drive the property values down a little bit more so we can buy.